Because I said so, that's why. Oh, sweetie, you can do whatever you want. You're my bestest friend. Why don't we look at our choices and discuss what will be the best option? Hi, this is Amy Baez, Pediatric Occupational Therapist and founder of Playapy, coming from my home to yours with an episode of Tips and Topics. So this week is an extension of last week's episode of Amy's Affirmations called Let Kids Be Kids. And today the topic is going to be, what is authoritative parenting? Now, the reason why this is important is because there are different parenting styles and some have been shown to be more effective than others. So I want to talk to you about why I feel that authoritative parenting is the best option for you. So I'm going to explain to you a little bit about what the different parenting styles are and what you should know about them. So let's discuss the different types of parenting styles. So right off the bat, we are going to eliminate neglectful parenting because for obvious reasons, this does not help a child. We don't want to be not fulfilling their needs or paying any attention to them whatsoever. So we're going to just eliminate that one. The other types of parenting styles are permissive, authoritative, and authoritarian. Now, permissive looks like a relationship that is a parent trying to be on equal grounds with their child as, say, like a friend. And this does not really allow for enough discipline or boundaries in order for a child to really develop in a way that we want to academically or otherwise. So although this is a type of style that we do see often, it's not the most effective one. On the other end of that spectrum is authoritarian. Now, this is a very strict parenting style where it's pretty much what I say goes, and the child doesn't have any sort of choices and doesn't really have any say in anything really. And so they are just doing as the parent says, and there's not much for them in terms of having their own sense of independence. Now, the last type of parenting style is authoritative, and this type is really a mixture of permissive with authoritarian. So basically you have an experience where the parent is both warm and provides a lot of structure, and this has been shown to be the most effective type of parenting style. You know, what the research has showed is that authoritative parenting style really leads to children that have greater academic achievement, less issues with disobedience, less signs of depression, less antisocial behaviors. So overall, this is the best type of parenting style. And what it really allows is for a parent to give the child a sense of their own self, but also feeling like they have a nice relationship with them, and also giving them enough of a push or guidance that they need. You know, there's a respect there, and that is what I feel really helps with discipline with children, is that they have to trust you and care for you, but they also have to respect you, not fear you, but respect you. And you know, sometimes it's easier with some children over others, but overall I do feel like when you strike a balance and you're working in the middle of being warm and strict, you're going to see better results for kids. If you don't give them enough boundaries, they're not going to respect you, and if you are too strong on them, they're going to have a really hard time trusting you. Now, the reason why I say this ties into last week's episode is because when I was talking about let kids be kids, I was really stressing the idea of being very playful with children and not being so strict with them. But what I wanted to make sure that was clear was that I wasn't suggesting that parents not really push their children in any sort of way at all. What I was suggesting is that when they're really young, you really need to develop that warmth and trust with a child, and that is done in a really playful way. But then as they're getting older and their demands increase academically, you want to also provide that structure for them so that they can feel like they are achieving and don't feel lost, like they don't have any guidance at all. So my tip for you today is to think about how you can spend time with your child in an authoritative way. So you may not have a lot of extra time on your schedule. Not many parents do. So what I would suggest is that it's not so important that you spend hours of a day doing homework with a child or, showing up to every single soccer match. That is not shown to be what's most effective. What does really help children is when you do things like ask them how their day was, ask them what they've learned in school for the day. Basically having a conversation with them that stimulates thinking skills, that stimulates analytical skills, that stimulates problem-solving skills. Talk to them about what's going on in the world, what is in the news today, things like that. If you spend time with your child doing that and activities like reading to them on a regular basis and showing an example of what you would like them to do, then that is where you're going to have your greatest success, and you're going to prepare your child for the world in different ways than if you just stress strict academic expectations. Okay, so imagine if your partner or your spouse came home to you and just said to you, "Hey, how did you perform at work today?" I mean, that's not the kind of relationship that I would want to have with a partner. I would want to hear something like, "Oh, how was your day? How's it been? Or what was interesting that you did today?" If we always are focused so much on performance, it doesn't really make us feel like the person genuinely cares about how we feel or what our thoughts are. And so as parents, you don't want to do the same thing to your child. You don't want the first thing they hear out of your mouth is, "Hey, what'd you get on that math test?" You want them to hear just things that are really much more nurturing. Like we said, like, "How was your day today? What did you learn today?" Those are ways that we really want to interact with the child that shows that we really do care about their academic achievement, but we also care about them at the same time. So I hope you find that tip helpful. You can learn more about child development, all types of skills at playapy.com. You can also subscribe to this channel here, and you can get weekly posts about different tips and topics. But before you do, I want you to share your thoughts. Are you an authoritative parent? What parenting skill or style has worked the best for you? Please share in the comments below, because I'd love for us to have a discussion. In the meantime, I hope you have a playful day.